Eka Okpada Soreto in Heart Clinic on Origin Television. Yes, your one and only educating and inspiring show. And on this show, you have the privilege to hear people's life story. And why do they tell their life story? To help you through the healing process, to make you understand that it is not the end of the road. And as a matter of fact, people have been through things that you are going through, or even worse, and yet they survived. I have with me my guest in the house, Mr. Yinka, and he's still talking about how to deal with disappointment. Wow. Before we went on a short break, he related his story, how he had a woman, of course, who he was, who he had marital relationship with, but not formally. And then the woman had a baby for him, left him, came back, and he forgave her, only for her to be caught pants down with another man. That's serious. That's really serious. But you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. You were saying that you got back home, and then your son was at home. I can imagine the trauma. Your son, your little son, was at home at that time, and she was doing that kind of thing with that boy at home. How did you feel when you saw that?
Well, I felt like what's happening, and but thank God for God and the ability to control myself. And I didn't do anything anyway, but I still said to myself, I still need to forgive this woman.
Wow, but how did you respond to that disappointment? Because that was a height of disappointment.
Well, I only told the man involved that he should go. Somebody that I offer residence in my flat, in my yard, because I use 4 flats, 2 flats for office and 1 flat where I'm living. And I gave rooms to my staff in the same compound, about 8 of them. And it is one of them that did this. I said, okay. So eventually the man, left, and I said to my wife, you've done this, but still I'm forgiving you.
No, more disconcord.
That is the truth.
Just like that? Just like that. You did not cry? You did not break down? Nothing happened?
You see, I don't know whether it's just the grace that I have. Just like when I lost election, the first child in the family wanted to commit suicide. I said, no, he's gone, he's gone. The same day I lost election, I threw a party.
So, but this was a big blow to you as a man, to your marriage, even in your house, with someone you were feeding. That is the man who works with you. That's a big blow.
Okay. If such situation can never be coped with, then there won't be a vocabulary like forgiveness. There is no sin that you cannot forgive.
That's huge.
You forgive out of self-control. You still forgive out of love. Some people talk of love, but they don't really understand what we call love. Okay. You love a woman. You've brought the woman under your roof. You are doing so many things in common. And for whatsoever, you now decide to say, that's the end. I never said, even after that, we lived together for more than 10 years. But I remember each time we discuss, she will tell me, I know you cannot forgive me. I say, but I've forgiven you.
Hey. Leo.
So that's just it. That's real.
But that will bring me to asking you, how do you forgive someone who something must have triggered your forgiveness? How were you? Because I must confess to you, that's kind of difficult. It's easier for women to, catch their men red-handed and say, okay, women learn to let go. Okay, where do I start from? But I know for a man's ego, a man does not joke with his ego. For a man to to see such a scene, come face to face with that kind of horror film, because horror film, how can he forgive? How can he forgive someone who hurt him so badly and disappointed him?
That is the effect of the power of redemption. If you will permit me to borrow a word from the Bible, if any man is in Christ, he has become a new creature.
For those who are not in Christ, because this is not just for people who are Christians.
I want to believe there is no religion that does not preach forgiveness.
But let's be practical. How easy? How do you do it? You're a living witness.
Okay.
Fill us in. How did you do it? Wọ́n ní ìmí kékeré létí àwo. Bójú bá kúrò ńbẹ̀. Ọkàn lè kúrò ńbẹ̀ láíláí. We are being practical. We're humans. How did you do it?
There is no issue you can discuss without reference to God, whether we like it or not. We need to look at God's standard for our existence. If you are not going outside that, then you should be able to look at the standard of God. And, like the word love, agape, love. Am I right?
Yes.
It's peculiar to people irrespective of their religious background. We can talk of true love.
Yes.
When you love somebody, such a person is not somebody you will wish, let him die. Let him be roasted by fire. Let him be, I did that, and I want to tell you that I was able to do that because I could distinguish between light and darkness. My youthful stage was very, very horrible. I was a cultist before I came to the knowledge of light. So my life was so brutal, So with a regenerated
And on
heart,
the other side, forgiveness is a sin.
Forgiveness.
Yes, I mean, being
forgiving somebody of
on the other side.
Forgiveness is a sin. Forgiveness is a virtue.
No, you don't understand. Okay. On the other side, when you were a cultist, forgiveness was a sin at that time. So you knew how not to forgive.
That is it.
Okay.
It was a sin at that time. Somebody comes your way, you crush.
Okay.
Somebody tries to block your way, you clear off. So the most glorious aspect of my life has been my turning point when I came to the knowledge of the light.
I think I can understand why you were able to just overlook it like that, because as a matter of fact, you've seen the most horrible things in life, and then you learned at that time that forgiveness was a sin. And like you said, there was a turning point. There was this turning point at where you had to, where you realized that there's more to forgiveness. You feel better when you just consider any matter like Kusinka now, But that's a good one for you. that's grace speaking, because it's not easy for any other person. It takes the grace of God to forgive such an act. But I think I understand you. But having said that, how do you forgive someone who is not even sorry? How do you forgive someone who's not even sorry and who's not ready to apologize? That's just like stepping on my toe and then looking at me like, excuse me. Now stepping on my toe and leaving a bruise on my toe and still telling me, excuse me, what?
Everything we are discussing now is a product of the mind. Forgiveness is a product of the mind. Unforgiveness is equally a product of the mind. But I want to tell you, something that comes to your heart is this. You yourself that you are talking, that you expressing disappointment and people have let you down, you don't want to forgive them. Sometimes you remember, have you equally disappointed somebody one time or the other? Then do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So you forgive people because you expect, when you equally wrong people, you expect forgiveness from them. So human beings, we are not born perfect. We are not born holy. There are times human factor will come in, the flesh will rule. So if you now think, if you wrong this man, you expect for the forgiveness. So when somebody wrongs you, let his own expectation be met by you forgiving such a person. That is that.
When someone wrongs you,
you expect forgiveness. When
someone wrongs you,
he expects forgiveness.
This one, he does not even expect forgiveness. He does not even think he has wronged you. Yinka? Kò feel pé mo ti ẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan fún ẹ so kí n kó lọ nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ dà, nǹkan tí dàda ẹ bá fẹ́ dà ni kó lọ dà.
There is a way you think normal. The world, this wicked world, doesn't offer you anything. You should know what the world is capable of doing. You can see it everywhere. Look at what happened in South Africa. Look at what is happening in Boko Haram area, slaughtering people and all the rest of it. So sometimes you don't even expect people to say sorry. You just cast your mind off. Okay.
I mean, tagging that onto a normal human behavior.
Yeah, because what we are saying, what we are saying now has led people into so many funny things. Some people being disappointed, they have committed suicide.
Yes.
They have done what they're supposed not to do. So you have to start building yourself and encouraging people. Okay, somebody says sorry. What has that done to you? It has increased your height. It has increased your wealth.
But it makes you feel better. It makes you understand that that person understands that he's done something wrong.
You are talking about feeling. Feeling is not constant. What makes somebody better makes another person feel so upset. So the surest way to maintain your happiness, to keep your happiness, when you are leaving your house in the morning, go with enough credit card. Sure, you understand. Somebody is going to step on you in the bus. Somebody is going to abuse you on the road.
What do you mean by go with enough credit card?
To forgive people. That is it.
No, that means go with enough forgiving card. Sometimes. So that when this one does it, sorry to cut you short, you remind me of a popular gospel teacher, a preacher in the household of God. But when we get back from the short break, I'm going to talk about what the man said and how it is related to what you just said. Heart Clinic is still running on Origin Television. Tabak Badade, ètò ṣì ń tẹ̀síwájú. Ẹ kú kalẹ̀.